All right, folks, we're here all together, as you can see, in person for the finale episode of Run the World, episode 8. Almost, lady, almost. Yeah, we all came together to try to do something special for the finale here. This was a very, to me, different episode. We actually seen some really, really emotional scenes and really good performances. But nonetheless, we're here. Yeah. So there's definitely a lot to get into with this episode. But before we get into it, how's everyone doing? Good to see you all.
Glad to see everybody.
Friday. I'm so glad to see all your beautiful
But
faces.
it's like we are challenging each other. Here, you have Team Ola.
That's right. That's right.
Team Black Men Don't Cheat.
That's right. That's right.
It's the women.
That's right.
We've been talking about this the whole series. Y'all understand what it is.
You just have faith in her. There's a difference.
Yeah.
We had it's no surprise. We knew this was all going to come this bout. I mean, we were like, I text Ola like 10 minutes ago. We're going to link up. My man hurt, I feel for him right now, but we could have told y'all this 3 or 4 episodes ago. This is where it's going to boil to.
But the thing is, if she never said anything, if she would have never said anything,
2 episodes ago.
it would have been all right. The marriage still is.
Also considered lying and cheating if you don't tell him.
Dictionary, there will be a picture of Whitney.
Oh my God.
Right.
Well, folks.
They've been trying to make my man Mario Winans.
I know, man.
Ola's like, fuck that. I don't want to know. I want to know. I want to know what's going on.
But the thing is, did he really want to know? Because he.
Well, he didn't know. He didn't know what he was walking into. First of all, we're drinking wine too because the ladies drunk wine for their bachelorette party, so we're pouring up the wine too, and also for our finale episode. And thank you for everybody that's been supporting us this entire season. We definitely appreciate that. This has been a very fun season, and first we can almost call it a pilot season because it's been a roller coaster. It's been up and down with the episodes. We talked about the fluxing of the tones, but we're here. We made it through all 8 episodes, and we definitely appreciate everyone's support in doing so. But we are here at the finale, and I want to start with the first question: is now that we got the first season under the belt, are you excited for another season? Do you want it? Do we need it?
I want to see what's going to happen next. I want to see the last episode with Ola being the person that he is. I just want to see how that story ends. It's not like an extreme urge. It's just more so like I want to know what's going to happen. Like, is he going to stay? I mean, the wedding is in a week or in 4 days. Is he really going to marry her?
Before you answer that real quick. This is on Stars, and every other series that Stars has picked up that's been extremely popular, especially within the last 2 years, it's been a definitive where is season 2. Everybody has been clawing for P-Valley. After Power ended, we wanted the Power books. Everything they've been putting out, everybody has been desiring more. This is an episode that I do not feel. This is a series that I feel like they did not really get the traction that maybe they were expecting. But you watched it. We broke it all down, all 8 episodes. So now with that being said, do you want and feel that there needs to be a season 2?
I would like to see a season 2. However, I don't feel like they advertise it enough to get the traction, to get the audience into it, and therefore the numbers won't pull. I think I'm 50-50 because this was a really hard series, right? So like maybe after episode 4, I think is when we really started to get in and dive in deep. And now we're here and we're like, you leave us with a cliffhanger. It's hard not to want a season 2.
Right.
But also, how are the people feeling, right? Like, do you guys want a season 2? That's the question.
That's the question.
Yeah.
Well, so let me get into the technical point of all of this. First things first, as we said before, Stars, it does seem like they promoted this show, but part of the reason why is this show is getting extremely low ratings. Mm-hmm. So right now, I think it's pulling 0.1, 0.2 in the 18 to 34 market, which is horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Yeah.
It's pulling under 1 million viewers per week.
Is that their demographic though? The 18 to 32? I don't think that's their targeted audience.
Because even That's P Valley's target audience. I think.
but
I think any show that Stars does, that audience is 18 to 34, because that's the audience you need. And this is supposed to be the young Black version of Sex and the City. So yes, that's your target.
But you had to have been watching Sex and the City in order to do that. I mean, we're in our 30s, so
Just think about anything Yvette Browser has done beforehand,
true.
or any show associated with anyone else involved with this show. It's Dear White People, it's Living Single, it's all these shows that pull in that younger audience. This show has been unable to do it, and part of it is that Stars, if y'all don't market this show like you think you have a hit, that's the problem here.
Yeah.
What nobody, I remember when me and Najir was going to review P Valley, and Najir came to me and said, Lou, we finished Power, let's review P Valley. I said, I'm not reviewing P Valley.
I didn't like the first
And then
episode.
that first episode was like a horrible Tyler Perry movie.
Yeah.
So I said, oh, I'm really not reviewing it. But Stars pumped that show out.
Yeah, they did.
They pumped it.
You would think you had already watched another season the way
Some
they
of these things that we've seen with Run the World in the show, when they show the advertising, whether it be the backboard or the basketball hoop or bus in this episode, it looks like things that will be perfect promotion for this, and they are dropping.
Yeah.
They are dropping.
There's
the
no confidence.
ball
Yeah.
here, man.
The only caveat I see to this is that I don't think it's catching the traction now, but I think it's going to get some retraction at some point.
That's the key part.
Yeah.
It can pick up after the show is over now.
Yeah.
And you can package all these episodes together and stream them.
I think it's a different.
Then maybe you pick up that audience.
Yeah, but you know what's funny? Because the show that I watched, and you know I watched this a long time ago, and no one talked about it, but everybody's talking about it right now. And it's a different genre, but I think it's the same mentality here, is Manifest. I watched that show weekly, and people were just like, what? But now it's on Netflix, and everybody is injecting themselves like, I need more.
See, look how we can venture off when we lie.
I'm just saying, but I'm just saying, like, maybe the marketing wasn't here.
Yeah.
And if it can catch, first of all, if it can catch some traction in Black Twitter, if it can catch, if another show could supersede this and then somehow get people to swing back to this, that's a possibility,
I think that sometimes we have to let shows have their own personalities, right? Almost like kids, right? Like you get it, a kid comes out and you're trying to figure out which parent it's gonna be like, but the kid has its own personality. So I think that sometimes when we like either compare or we want to, it reminds us of something, we have to get out of the habit of like looking at it and being like, oh, this could be a Girlfriend's, oh, this could be a Sex and the City.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So even though they're comparable, I think sometimes, especially in like a first season, we need to give it own space to like breathe. I do think that just some of the episodes in general was just so like either oversaturated or undersaturated. There was like the balance of it wasn't quite there, and so I think people were left feeling like, oh, I want more, and then on another episode like, oh, I want less.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the elephant in the room here. There's no breakout star from this show.
Well,
there's not a breakout character from this show. In any show that you mentioned, there was a breakout character.
you mean coming into the show? I think there may be something coming out of this.
I mean, I'm talking about as the show progresses. A lot of new shows have one character that the audiences love.
Yeah.
But
Whether it was with Girlfriend.
That's true.
but I think we can make that argument about Renee.
I don't think
I don't
can.
know.
I thought episode 7 was the strongest episode, and I think we start to gravitate her star power.
Make that?
No.
Because they didn't highlight her enough.
But that's my point though. That's my point.
So with those other shows, they're able to highlight them enough. Like again,
There's no Beyonce in that. You need a Beyonce in the group.
Well,
Destiny's Child.
well, at the same time though.
You had 2 Michelles and a Kelly Rowland.
But
It wouldn't exist.
also Kelly's bomb, by the way.
Hey, I'm not saying Kelly Rowland ain't bomb.
I'm just saying Kelly's bomb.
I ain't saying none of that. but it's a different level.
But
Star attraction when you get a Beyonce. It's a different level of star attraction.
Yeah.
When you get Uncle Clifford. It's a different.
But when he had star power before he came into that though.
It's a different level of star attraction when you get Miss Mississippi.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Is there a favorite? But is there a favorite in this whole episode, in this whole series? Is there a favorite?
I think it's got to be Renee.
But the issue is that no one character sticks out enough because you need.
I don't think
No,
I don't think they built.
That's where I'm going. That's where I'm trying to go at. The biggest issue is that the promotion really decided they didn't put when they wanted to make the show about Elle, the series itself, the script and everything never made it about her. So you went into this thinking she was going to be the focal point, and it never followed, and that's fine.
Right.
But then it's like there always has to be an A in every show. There's always an A. There could be a billion B's, but there has to be one A. And they never did it. And when Renee character even showed up to be the A, which I feel in the later part of the series, they never said, we got one. They were just like, bench. We're still going with L. Or maybe we don't know who to go with.
No, you said it right. They said we're still going with L.
Yeah.
But the problem was from the very first episode. How many of y'all feel that Maxine Shaw, attorney-at-law, was overshining L in every scene that she was with?
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
Because you're supposed to be my lead character.
Yeah.
How are you being overshadowed
Yeah.
so easily? And when that happens, what do you get? You get a show that feels like, I know some of y'all too young to remember this, but some of them are old enough to remember this, so just go along with me here. How many of y'all remember the group Ideal?
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
I don't either.
Ideal.
You don't remember the R&B group Ideal?
No, I mean I can go deep in the trenches, but Ideal is one that is. They must have got by their manager real quick.
Me and Nigeria
Was an R&B group that had 4 guys who really sung well.
What song? What hit? What was the hit?
Questionable.
How dare you? I can't remember. I can't remember right now. I can't remember right now the hit that they had. But the point I was making, there was never a Cisco.
Yeah.
There was never a KC.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was never.
I mean, you can even come more current. I mean,
I don't know.
Even though the overlining issue,
There was
which
never a
is
Nick
Diddy.
Jonas, if you want me to come current.
Yeah, true. But like, even though Diddy and Bad Boys the overlining issue, you can even go to the current group B5. All of them could sing, but who was the star? It was 5. It was and it had a smash hit. You know.
It's better saying Day 26.
Yeah.
Because there's not a star in Day 26.
Exactly.
Danity Kane is not a star in that
no
group.
star.
These are people who can sing well.
What about TGT?
Next subject. Hey,
TGT. Those are 3 stars that you put together to make a group.
a lot of ego in them though. But so let's go to the episode here.
What you saying? There wasn't a genuine. There wasn't a genuine.
Let's go to the episode here. So obviously, all roads led to Whitney and Ola and her coming clean. We saw last week episode end with her being invited to the secret stash house. She decides to keep it clean. She comes forward with it, very transparent. The one thing that we've been saying, there hasn't been transparency. But there's a couple of elements to bring into play here. We talked about Ola in previous episodes about like how he's never had to face this form of adversity in a relationship because it's all been perfect. Everything's all good to him. And the fact that she has infidelity in this situation, we all knew it was going to hurt a man's pride. Black men don't cheat. This is uncharted territories for him. My man is hurt. But at the same time, I'm going to come back to her. She came clean. She did the right thing. Regardless if she got the result she wanted, she did the right thing.
Yeah.
We watched this episode together. We pretty much had the same reactions where we knew this was going to be problematic because there was a lot of emotion flowing. And hats off to the two of them because they put on their performance of the entire season in this 5 to 6 minutes moment of
I
them.
can't remember the name of the gentleman who plays Ola.
I always forget.
Ah.
I
Yeah.
can't remember his name.
He's a good actor.
And normally I would grab my phone, but we live. So I can't hide it.
Yeah.
But, his scenes in this episode are the best scenes by any actor on this show this season.
I think that's safe to say.
Some of his scenes were heartbreaking.
Yeah.
You can see, when an actor is doing a great job when you see the emotion behind their eyes, because then they start believing the character that they are.
Yeah.
And it was parts of his discussion with Whitney where you felt like, man, he is breaking right in front of her. I think when she asked him, don't delay the wedding or something, he said, didn't you just do that?
Yeah.
And then you saw the hurt behind his eyes.
Yeah.
And even the tremble in his voice when he was speaking.
Yeah.
Said,
The scene was personal because I thought the script was written real authentic because I feel like a lot of the delivery, a lot of the conversation and the dialogue between the two of them felt real. And what's really different about this is that we've seen scenes and segments of this series where things are authentic, but then dialogue don't always follow. Like, we can go back to last week with Renee and her quitting her job and standing up for herself. I believe that. But the whole walking out, Black Lives Matter, et cetera, and that's the comedic tone to this. And if you look at how this episode was done, you went between the bachelorette party and the serious stuff because that's how they keep balance in the show. They don't want the show to get too deep, which that emotional scene was getting swirling all forms of deep.
Right.
But they kept that part very deep. And I think that, when you look at how authentic, how genuine that felt, and how emotionally charged that was. I mean, it was fantastic. This is legitimately their best episode this season.
I was going to say that. I definitely would. I feel like it was consistent.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't fluctuate. It felt steady. It felt like you got just enough for every character.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I really feel like it was.
This was the best episode.
Yeah,
period.
it was enough to keep
Hands down,
Mm-hmm.
best episode.
And
so then the question would be to the audience to ask you all, do you think it would come across better if the series focused on the more serious
Bingo.
moments
First thing.
instead of feeling the need to interject the comedic relief?
Bingo.
Because in this episode, if they would have just said, we're going to focus only on Whitney and Ola, even though we think this episode is really good, it's a difference between really good and great.
Yeah.
This could have been great.
Yeah.
You said we're just going to focus on them two
But they're
and
probably
let
not gonna
all
do
of
that.
these emotions, because at that point, I believe you're setting up a better second season.
Well, and that's the thing. I think that you had to end this season with the
cliffhanger, which I understand.
Yeah, and I think I think again by doing the bachelorette party, which was the comedic side to this and the energetic side to this against the very emotionally charged this, it's consistent to how all the other episodes have been. I think now they go to the drawing board and they say, now what did the viewers like?
Yeah.
I think it's easy for people to say, well, it's a black show and this feels like another Insecure, which we don't agree, but I think people easily say, oh, this feels like Insecure. But Insecure has had episodes completely like one side of this episode and then comes back with the next episode that's completely like the other side of this episode. So there is success.
And Lawrence breakup.
Exactly.
Had no humor.
Exactly. So you can do success in either way, but I think they need to determine now what catches for them. And that's where, if you go with a season 2, which season 2 could be amazing at this point, because now they got time. There's a bunch of other shows on slate. They got to say, we got to get these ratings up.
Yeah.
Stars are going to say, we want you to get these ratings up.
Nervous, you know what I mean? Because it's a weird. Black people are always in a weird time and in a weird space, right? And it's like you need some kind of comedic relief, but at the same time, I feel like a lot of us will understand a serious episode about
Very
very
relatable stuff, up and down.
Do these things right now, and I think that would have shifted the dynamic in the audience for people to feel like, hey, I can relate to this. It's not funny. It doesn't need to be funny. It just needs to be what it actually is. And I think they missed it kind of like with adding the additional.
This is why you do stuff in person. As you were talking, it clicked to me. Do you think, I'm going to ask Jess this. Jess,
I'm putting you on top.
do you think they interjected the comedic element because of where we are in the world?
Yes.
This show
that we
debuted
needed
during
it.
a pandemic.
Yeah.
And they were probably thinking,
Yeah.
we may want this show to be more serious, but we can't have it more serious now. People are looking for a break from a serious reality. If you are, I need to interject humor.
Let me ask one thing before you answer real quick too. And I also think, and this is not a good call, but maybe this was a strategy where they said, well, it's the pandemic. Everyone's at home. We don't need to spend money on advertisement.
Right.
Everyone's already grounded. This show had no competition right now. There is literally nothing else on TV right now, on premium television, and maybe even on basic television to compete with this.
At this time.
So maybe they say,
Possibly.
Then
advertisement budget? No.
Then they timed this wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The world opened up.
And it's not their fault. It's not their fault.
Right.
It's a bad timing.
When we found out this show was coming out,
Yeah.
when we got interested in this show, if it would have released a month later, that'd have been perfect.
Yeah, yeah.
Because everyone would have been in the house. You're looking for something to watch.
Yeah.
This could have been perfect. But now with the world opened up again, it's competition.
And you can go now, but definitely season 2 needs to be after P-Valley season 2. It needs to be right there waiting. It needs that momentum because
I've never watched P-Valley, but you guys talk about it a lot, so I feel like I need to see it.
jump on it.
See, okay. And Grownish. They say Grownish is good.
That just started, by the way. Oh no, it's a season finale, but yeah.
About people, Mercedes.
Mercedes. But yeah, to your comments, to what you
I
said.
remember y'all kept saying, it's like it's comparable to the Sex and the City, and Sex and the City is like half comedic, and then it's like half drama. So it's like if they're trying to make a black version of that, it's gonna be like that. So I don't think it really pertains to the COVID or anything. It's just they're trying to make their own swing of a black Sex and the City.
But if you do, then you had to learn a lesson because the first season of Sex and the City isn't good.
This is trash. I mean, if you want to do apples and apples, it's probably the same thing. And then the second season and the third season will be on point.
I don't think this is a trash first season.
I didn't think
I
it was
wouldn't go that
trash.
far.
I didn't think it was trash. No,
Nah.
it's not trash.
It
It's
had
not
its
trash.
moments where it felt a little weak or the episodes felt
Right,
too bloated.
right.
Yeah.
But in general, it's so many good ideas here. They just have to slow down.
Yeah.
A lot of meat and
Yes.
potatoes.
Slow down.
Okay, so let me ask y'all another question then. Season 2. If you had one thing you would want for them to fix to make it more appealing to you in any part of season 2 production, whether it's advertisement, whether it's extending the episodes, whether it's when it's released, whether it's how it's released, say put the whole thing out. Maybe they even switch the day. Instead of it being on Sunday, what about Saturday? What would you do to change to create more success for it? Because again, I want to be clear, like, although we watched it and enjoyed this, we watched this and we felt like we were in a bubble because we were like, is anybody else out there watching it? And I do see other people saying they're watching it, but I don't see it trending. I don't ever feel like I'm in danger of spoilers when I get on. Even though we're watching it early, I don't feel like I'm like get online at like 3:00 in the morning on Sunday and somebody's like, yeah, did you see what happened, you know?
Conversations about it after the show ends.
Yeah, Black Twitter is not,
Like,
where are you?
me and Major stay up late to watch Power.
Coming soon.
Right.
And when we do it, you can't go online
Not at all.
because they are Negroes out there who will fast forward to spoil an episode for you.
Oh my gosh. Don't go on IG. Don't go on
But you don't
social
get that
media.
with this show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Only
I
one
thought
friend that watches
maybe mid-season it will pick up because that's what P-Valley did. That's what a lot of star shows do. It picks up mid-season.
So there's faith. There's
Yes,
faith
I
that it'll
think-
progress.
I think
It'll do
it
well.
could be this show will progress better now that all episodes are.
I think so. But yeah,
Trial and error. Trial and error.
And then you get because I don't want to sound sexist, but this is a woman's show.
Yeah.
So you need to do Stars needs to market to women.
Yeah.
Girls' night. Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Drinking wine,
Hey, hold on.
bottle of wine. Watch Run the World.
Yeah, matter of fact.
Insecure was 50-50. I mean, there were men that was watching, but a lot more women viewers.
But-
seasons of Insecure also struggled with ratings.
Yeah. But also Insecure also went after women, and then they said, "Oh, we want women to also invite their significant others and watch this and make it a tandem," because like it was not a thing to watch Insecure the first two seasons.
Insecure had a breakout star.
Yeah.
And I
She
think,
was the Beyonce that everyone
in the
loved
end,
and felt.
I think,
but everybody got elevated at some point
in
too.
Insecure, they understood it came in as Issa's show,
Yes.
but Molly became the character most people were talking about. So they
And even
understood-
Lawrence.
Yep.
Well, Lawrence is different. We understand. It was a different situation, and I think that's what this show. That's the only thing the show is missing.
Yeah.
If it's one thing you correct, tone.
Okay.
Change the tone. It needs to take a more serious comedic tone.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you can have a dramedy versus something that feels slapstick.
Yeah.
Right.
And at times it felt slapstick with its comic relief when it should have been more dramedy. The serious comic relief. And you're like, oh, so let me give you the most tragic thing in the world, and I'm going to interject a joke right there.
Yeah.
And Whitney, the young lady who plays Whitney, is a great comedic actor, and you could never tell from this show.
Yeah.
When she was on the Carmichael show, she was amazing with her timing.
Yeah.
So let her loose. Put her in these horrible situations.
By the way, I mean, but even on that, she showed good versatility here. So, we'll see. Oh, it's okay. So, what would you all change if it's the one thing you need to change to make season 2 a little bit more marketable or more seasoned or more appealing, whatever you want to call it? But like,
Renee, I want to know more about Renee in the dating world. They didn't really shine a light on that. I want to see.
we definitely didn't get no closure in that situation.
Yeah, I want to see her have her little thought moment. She's going through a divorce. I want to see her connect with other men. I want to see those kind of dramatics. Like that right there would be extremely engaging because at the end of the day, those type of scenarios is what sells. Like I'm gonna keep it real. Like people want to see that.
By the way, just to remember, we're on Stars, and the sex scenes margin was definitely below average.
I was like soft porn. We need some.
We got a power.
We need
Everybody
some
on Power gets a sex scene.
Every episode, yeah.
Good looking people. I need more good, more attractive.
Why are we getting more sex scenes here?
in the club scenes.
They ain't passed the waiver round.
Scenes.
Right, because we had the very first episode we had a sex scene.
Yes.
So that was supposed to be amazing. I
Drink for
think
that.
I would like them to just be, just take your time.
Yeah.
Take your time, right?
Don't rush it.
You have 8 episodes, you can figure it out. Even if you want to do half and half, you want to do Ola 15 minutes, Whitney 15 minutes. You know what I mean? Take your time. I don't think we need to rush it. There is so much in this show, so much that's relatable to everybody's gonna go through some of these things. You know what I mean? And so like it doesn't need to be rushed. I think we can just enjoy it. It's okay for us to like take our time.
Yeah, I think this is my thing. I think they need to keep the cast intact, keep the storyline going forward, make sure everybody that's in this season is reoccurring for next season. I think you have got to bring in a celebrity showrunner or another executive producer who is currently relevant. And I'm not taking nothing away from Yvette, but I think that the shows that she has had successful are in 2 different generations, and that is a flux for viewership because Dear White People
But I'm about to say,
is one group of people, and this show is marketed towards that other group of people who may not even know that exists. Because I like to be frank, this show should be ignorantly spoken amongst black people, where it should be like, yo, you heard about the black Sex in the City? And it's not even there. Yeah. Or have you heard about, the 2021 Living Single? Yeah. It's not hitting that trend. And that's because the name is synonymous with the projects. We get it. But the characters are the most important thing of those shows, and I think they're both successful. I know they're both successful shows, and I feel like her still being involved is the way you want to go. But I think you want to bring in somebody currently to say, we need this person as your showrunner. And I'm just going to use Issa Rae for example. It would never happen, but let's just say Issa Rae there.
Penny.
Yeah, exactly.
He was the creative force, more or less, behind us.
And by the way, all of the major streaming companies are dropping money on these names because they know they can make money. What's the name from Lovecraft is getting.
But understand.
But again, it's trending in this direction, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh.
Or is it because, again, out of the box thinking here, the title of the show?
I don't think the title is nothing wrong with it.
I think it is when you don't lean into it.
Oh yeah, I mean, I hate to say it, but it
literally named the show "Run the World" and then didn't show us running shit.
Well, I don't think that's the problem, but I think there's another problem where like there was money to be made easily when "Run the World" is very synonymous with a super popular song by a super popular.
You picked the wrong song by Beyonce to name this show.
I don't think so. I think you cut the check to Beyonce. Well, again. The promotional aspect is just.
Really, I was gonna say, really, it's all about marketing. Bullet point number 1, character development. Bullet point number 2. Like if I had to really narrow them down, because the character development started, but this is the end of the season, right? And we need to take more time. But that marketing, put them signs for real on the buses. This is New York City. This is like
it's the fashion capital of the world here, you know?
We had more time. We really could have just popped, you know what I mean?
And pick up the clothing budget, people.
But it's kind of like a soap opera, though.
The clothing budget needs to pick up.
What?
Nice.
It was insane.
I thought that was the only thing that we can all. It's not even a question.
Y'all so 50s Instagram posts.
Nah, that's not nothing with the. Bro, that's nothing with the fashion. There was consistent.
When I say pick up the fashion budget, not just for the women, everyone needs to, like, Baptiste didn't look good.
Who's Baptiste?
Maybe because her character really wasn't.
Batiste.
Erica Alexander didn't look good.
But it don't matter because they're not the. I think the stars should shine. What I'm saying
is, again, if we look at other shows featuring 4 women, they became trendsetters in fashion. All other shows like this. And I don't think this one stick, because again, it's nothing wrong if the fashion trends you follow are the current trends, then you are not transitioning properly.
But I don't
need to take it somewhere different. And I think, again, I'm just talking about things in building or getting someone to pay attention to you.
I still don't think none of that matters because I thought the fashion was spectacular. I thought the chances they took in fashion was spectacular. None of it mattered if they not marketing the idea that you can be fashion.
You could be looking like a homeless person, and a homeless person will outshine everybody.
But I literally just said the issue. Sex and the City season 1 and 2 is bad. Its first 2 seasons are really bad.
Yeah.
You know what stuck out?
The fashion.
Yeah, but again,
that's what everybody talked about.
Yeah, but
it was not only the fashion in a sense of clothing, but the fashion in the dwellings that they had and things, just the aesthetic look of it.
Well,
we didn't really get a great aesthetic look of Elle's place. Renee's place, we saw we saw television in episode 2.
We saw Sondi's apartment. That's pretty bomb.
Yeah, that was nice. We got
and we saw Whitney's place. That's pretty bomb.
We saw Sondi's hidden apartment.
Yeah, but we saw Whitney's place too. It's pretty bomb.
No. I think with shows centered in New York, especially for black women, the aesthetic of what you expected is not there.
But they're still living, which is probably sound as crazy as hell saying this. They're still living a middle class life because they're still trying to thrive in everything they do.
Yeah.
I mean,
Elle's the only one living a middle class life in this show.
I mean,
because Renee isn't
unemployed.
Whitney isn't
doing good.
Yeah.
Sondi isn't.
Yeah.
They're not living over. You see that brownstone?
Yeah.
Please tell me in anywhere with that brown
I know
sauce,
he's doing good, but I'm just saying though. Here to kind of bring that to full circle. Like I think that the women fashion is not even a question. I think the old issue is
The marketing,
the marketing. I think if you can.
Nobody knew about it for them to even see what the fashion looked
Exactly.
like. If they
Exactly.
don't know about this show, how could they even agree with the fashion?
I feel like all your points are coming from the STEM issue that the marketing is not giving people a reason to say I
But
care.
I just want to say that me and Jasmine were right
About who?
about Sondi and
Matt,
because he turned out to be.
he turned out to be whoa. He turned out to be what?
What you mean?
He turned out to be what?
I don't know. Good dad. He was chilling with his daughter in bed.
What did you see in this episode?
He said, I'm gonna give you here.
Authentic, like you said, he was gonna be.
Yeah, I said he had to be authentic.
Oh, I'm sorry. I did say that too.
Yeah.
I didn't think I was going to some.
Yeah.
No, I said that was the question, but I didn't think of nothing against him. I don't.
I'm sorry.
Because I think
Is
y'all
it
thought that.
because they left you something for season 2?
My ladies, please get on here, y'all.
No. I never thought.
About
They
that.
showed him one time in this episode. You know why? Because we need to progress the story.
Don't be
Because
a
Sondi was
Okay.
really uncertain
We're
about
gonna take
his
this W right now so Susan
faithfulness.
comes back.
No, but let's ask the question then. He gave her the ultimatum and said, hey, take another day. You need your space, you need the time, you need to do what you got to do.
Last name.
I'll be here.
Suggestion.
That's his kid. That's his responsibility.
But is he being genuine or is he out here trying to create 24 hours to do whatever the hell he want to do?
He is blowing up her phone though.
And she wasn't answering, so nobody
wasn't
said.
answering.
Nobody said. Take another.
See, I told you it was him. I would never have even came with a rebuttal like that.
Because clearly,
You see how he did it? He would tell you to take another day.
clearly,
I'm like, I don't need your permission. I'm going to take another
that's
day.
what he basically said. Clearly, you need that day.
No, he was just saying you need to study, and studying is important. You can't study a lot.
I agree.
It's more important
I agree.
than us.
Because
Not with
your
a baby.
studying is more important.
Than us.
Absolutely.
Than us.
Right.
Focusing on a PhD is
And
way
then
more important.
she's still playing mommy to a man she ain't
That
married
was
to.
Right. That was authentic.
But
She up there singing
she
songs,
should be
everything.
wanting more.
I don't have a problem with.
So is it because she's settling?
No.
I'm the perfect man if you
I don't believe
settle.
she said
I do not have a problem with the relationship right now. They're still trying to figure it out. She wants time, but do she want time? You know,
You're
and
like, hold on,
okay.
we know Brown this episode.
well, okay, we got to talk about the juicy part because we want to make sure we hit the important things. Ola went through all the emotions.
smashed his Whitney. Smashed her.
Gave her the
Listen,
one.
What's the reason for the smashing
Let's
part?
just say that I
What was
called
the
it.
reason?
I said he was going to have sex.
And roll out. That's what
No.
they
You
do.
ain't gonna take this
That's
that credit. We all said it.
I was about to say,
You're the only one who thought that he was gonna.
Yeah.
He was gonna stay. We knew the moment.
I didn't think he was gonna stay.
A black man.
Yes, you
If
did.
you're
I called.
smash and roll out.
Would you smash him a lot?
Yeah, you gonna get
No. What I
this
said.
thing one more time. I'm gonna need you to think about it after I'm done.
What I
You did the
said.
best too.
What I said was that them having makeup sex, I don't think was it.
It wouldn't make up sense. It was in the relationship sex.
Yes, I
That's
do,
it.
I do feel like it was. I still could get it if I want
Yeah.
to. You're gullible enough to give it to
I'm sorry, hold on. Maybe
This is the end of our
I'm confused. I thought makeup sex was when you have a situation and you say,
That ain't makeup.
Makeup
Cheating
sex.
on you when you want to
No,
smash?
no.
Absolutely not.
Makeup sex is when
I was
I've
smashed
forgiven
somebody
you
else.
and then we
Yes.
have sex.
Yeah.
What all I did in this episode
It was like I was
was
smashing.
oh well,
just one more time.
Yeah.
And yes.
revenge sex. Never heard that word thrown around.
Or some people think
Never. I'm gonna Google that. I never heard that.
No, revenge.
Yeah.
I ain't never heard that. Revenge sex.
He hit it
He thought about
and
it.
then put on his clothes and left.
I'm just saying that.
Same trench coat we pointed out when he came in the door.
I'm sorry, you're looking at the wrong person. I said that. I think you're getting confused. I called the coat. I called the French coat, the trench coat. As soon as I saw, it, I said that's a nice coat, and that coat is going to be synonymous with what happens today because when he took it off. I said he evolved to level 10. He
took that trench coat off and had on all black.
yeah,
All black.
I was worried for her.
Got my friend saying this is for my
I was worried for her well-being for a second, but no, but seriously, to go to the sex thing. I mean, like, I thought that first of all, to be quite frank, him forgiving her in that moment and consoling her. We'll go consoling her in that moment. I thought was just to prove how good of a damn guy he is. He said, I'm going to take myself out of this for 1 second. His girl is, first of all, again, their performance is like really good. But he said, like, I feel for her. I seen him walk away and look like, and then, you know, he goes and console her, and because all the emotions and hormones and all that stuff is at an all-time high, they do it.
Trash.
But the fact that it erupted into that moment, I mean, I can give you a caveat, but we'll come back to that. But like the fact that they resulted into doing that together, I thought that his response in saying like, well, that didn't fix the issue, I need time to think. I don't have a problem with that at all.
That's real.
But
That's real though.
Super trash.
But I mean, how much different it is when people are out and they get drunk and then they get really.
I don't think they were drunk.
Your emotions are in the dumpster. He is in the middle of anger, betrayal.
Anger?
Oh yeah, he's pissed.
Oh yes.
He is pissed.
Oh my God.
I see hurt. I see hurt more than
Never cheated on his girl whatsoever.
hurt and anger are two different things.
If you listen to the words he used when he's talking to her,
He's pissed.
he's hurt.
He's hurt.
It's lots of anger
Yes.
because he said what you did was break my trust. He said if someone would have told me you'd have cheated on me,
I would have defended you.
But
A bullet to my head.
Because what
A bullet
happens
to
is
my head.
it's
Straight up.
the progression of emotion. I'm hurt because you told me you cheated on me.
So for
But now
clarification,
I'm past that hurt and
are
I'm
they
mad.
Each other's ones. They're each other's ones, right?
yeah,
Yes.
day ones. Yeah, I said that.
He said, I'm the shit. I'm a Harvard doctor.
Facts.
Well, again,
Facts. No cap.
I think that point is when you gotta see the transition.
Well, and that's what we've been waiting
It went
for.
from hurt, because when she told him he was dealing with all his emotions, but when he said, I'm the shit, that's anger. And now that anger's coming in, and when that anger comes in, it's like,
He kept saying,
And then-
stop saying
no,
I
no,
love you.
here you go, Nate,
Stop
here.
it.
Here you go,
Stop
Nate,
telling
here
me
you go right
love
here.
me.
Here you go right here.
Stop it.
Here you go right here. When she's down there crying, just look at his face before he goes to console her.
He's hurt too. He's hurt. He sees hurt and he's hurt. Here's the thing. The only reason why I do not consider it anger, because I consider anger to be a verb, because I feel like anger is like a movement of something. It's like you're moving energy in a direction. Because soon as you have anger,
Coming out.
nah, I'm just saying, the moment you start saying you're angry, people start saying there's action behind
It
that.
doesn't have to be.
When you tell somebody you're angry, the first thing you get is defensive because you think something is to come from that. When you say you're hurt, it's just an emotional
When
thing.
you're angry, some people could walk away.
Action.
Oh, yeah.
Action.
Okay.
When you're angry, people punch walls. Action.
Okay, but what did he do?
But you can just
He
say
turned
you're
his
angry.
back
Oh,
and
no,
turned
no, no.
aside. He walked away.
Major's
He
1,000%
walked
right.
away though, so that's
no,
not
no.
anger.
Major's 1,000% right. When you're angry, you punch walls. Did he not punch walls?
Did he punch a wall?
What did I see? What did I see? Did he not punch walls?
Did he punch a wall?
He sure did.
All right, well there you go. My man
He bent
angry.
her over and punched the walls. He's mad.
Oh yeah, in the beginning, yeah. Fair point. Fair
He's
point.
like, I'm gonna hit this one good time out of anger because
In all honesty, here's the thing.
I really want to whoop her ass.
I just think that when you start correlating a black man with anger, it's a slander. It's never a genuine thing.
Here's the thing: we have to get out of that. It's not a slander. It's not a bad thing.
You have to tell a lot of people that.
Listen, you are absolutely Ola in this very moment is absolutely 110% allowed to be angry. And it's not,
No.
Listen, hold on. It's not that anger is not even a bad thing. We have to. and through therapy, I'm learning this, right? But I've known this for a while, also doing books. But you really understand that anger is not a bad thing. It is something that is misplaced because most of us have not been taught how to actually deal with the anger. Anger does not result in, violence or punching walls, right?
Society tells you different, though.
Society does absolutely tell you different. But my thing is, in this moment, Ola feels betrayed, and if we use that emotional will, betrayal is behind anger. It's not behind sadness. It's not behind hurt. You know what I mean? So I think we have to understand that black men are entitled, just like black women are entitled to be angry. Now, how we deal with that is completely different, right? But this is a moment where he's allowed to say, like, yeah, I am angry, and I am hurt, and I do feel betrayed. He can, all the range of emotions he's able to have, right?
Yeah, but I mean, even to add to that too, like I think this is a conversation we can have for like an hour. But like, whenever you start correlating a black man's emotions, there is no one answer for us. We're not allowed to be angry. We're not allowed to be sad. We're not allowed to be hurt. Every single time you go to any one of those margins, somebody say, you can't do that. You can't do that. You're not supposed to do that.
And it's on us to break that stigmatism.
Yeah, but we can't do that alone because we've been doing this. And here's the thing. You say a man is emotion. You say a man is emotion. He's soft.
No. Let's rephrase.
And we're not calling each other soft.
Well, that's not true. 110%. Right. Let's be honest here. I have been in conversations with men, taking myself outside of the conversation. I have seen other men call other men soft.
True.
I've seen them call them other words that I will not mention on this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the point is that if we take all that out, if we throw it in the trash and we have genuine conversations with one another, and I tell you, like, hey, this is a safe space. You can be whatever you want.
That's the conversation that needs to go forward. It's creating safe spaces for emotions for people of color. That's just it.
Could the confusion come from because to you, they're in a relationship, so you don't correlate what he's doing with anger?
Well, I mean, again, when I see anger, I see action. And I feel like he maintained composure good. And all I see is responses to being hurt. I feel like he loves her, and I feel like he's in the situation he's never. And again, I've been thinking about this for like a couple of episodes because like we know he's going to get to this point, and we know it was always going to be the question of how does he respond to this, and he responded exactly how I thought he was going to respond. He was hurt. He felt betrayed. It was at moments where he was just asking why, how, blah, blah, blah. And then it went from like, well, you do. And it's like, okay. And then it was just like, what do we do? And then I think he started questioning her, how genuine she was being and apologizing. And I think he started to
expression of his anger towards I can be mad and not be at the person, but at the situation that you've now put me in. Mm-hmm. And I think that's his anger. When he said, what am I going to tell my family? That's not hurt. Right. That's anger. Because you have
disappointment.
She took away his picture. Mm-hmm. The same way we've talked about this entire series.
Because he said, do you feel better?
That's anger. That's pure anger.
Renee specifically said, she said, if you're not going to do it again, don't tell him.
Yeah, I mean,
right.
My biggest challenge with this is that when I correlate anger, I see aggression, I see yelling, I see more of a very vivid action and movement, and I felt like he kept his composure together the entire time.
Anger is words. From the minute he started throwing shade, it might have been light shade, but it was shade.
It wasn't light about his
shade. It's
shade.
gonna be perfect.
Shade or true, or just facts?
But here's the thing. If he hasn't said it to her in previous episodes, it's shade.
It's all
because
shade.
if you know something about me and you don't tell me until we get into an argument, until you are feeling the type of way, it's shade.
People throw, most times you throw shade at people, it's the truth.
I mean,
it's just something I've always held back because I know your reaction if I say it.
Also, shade is like considered something that's being said behind your back and you're not saying. He said it directly to him. I mean, that's
shade is equivalent of you going through something and you're telling me and I'm like, ooh. Wow, couldn't be me.
But either way,
that's shade.
People have their own.
But you're saying something behind their back and kind of not like.
No, I'm saying it to your face.
Yeah, but.
I'm saying that to your face. Like you're telling me. If Isha was coming to me tomorrow and say, because Lou, this guy cheated on me and that I don't know what to do, and I'd be like, wow, couldn't be me. I'm telling her that. That's all shade.
But at the same time, too, you're also not saying everything.
If I say it couldn't be me, I done said everything humanly possible. But I think what happened is because when we saw the sex scene between them two, and I think this was the brilliance of it, it purposely was shot to look tender. But we knew from the moment they did it, it was nothing tender in that scene.
No.
It was the opposite.
Yeah, it's
Of
common
the
sense.
of and I hate constantly bringing up this other show because for some odd reason we feel the need to compare it as black people, not necessarily us here, but it's the complete opposite of Lawrence when he had sex with the bank teller.
Yeah.
We saw his anger as he was having sex with her.
Yeah.
Here, because Ola's having sex with the person he's supposed to be in a relationship with, it's not going to come across with that anger, but he's clearly having it out of anger.
Yes. And if you look at her face, right?
She's crying.
There's something in the
Oh, I don't know. Am I allowed to say she hurt? Because I'm like, I don't know what hurt means.
That's how hurt sex.
uncomfortable.
It's that unquestionable, I don't know what's going to happen after this.
It's so uncomfortable.
I think she was pretty sold that things were going to be okay afterwards.
It's the uncomfortable, I'm kind of doing this, hoping that it passes over kind of sex. Because you can see in her face, you can see how she almost, in my personal view of it, I feel like it's part of her wanting to say stop when they were missionary. When you get to doggy style, this nigga's like, I'm about to go.
Hey, when they're missionary,
Okay.
see, again, that's something I read about. I read into when they were doing it missionary and all the emotion on her face, and he flipped her over.
Like,
I don't want to deal with this emotion.
Yeah.
This emotion has nothing to do with me.
I'm not.
Your face at all. Let me just.
I don't got.
Because in all.
I don't got nothing else to add to
Say
that.
it again, Jazz.
Punch those balls and call it a
There you
night.
go.
Like my man.
As Nigeria said, he needed to see that as anger. He punched the walls, and then Nino Brown heard
Everyone
his
has
way
a
out.
different vision on what anger looks like. It doesn't matter. Action, no action. Killers don't
Hola.
always look like they're gonna kill.
Ola Hotep out here. He had to do what he had to do.
Ted Bundy was the nicest killer in the world.
Exactly. All right.
Everything
Exactly.
doesn't need to look the
Yeah.
same way. And I think Nigeria pointed out perfectly, because that's a stigmatism on black men, is that when we're angry, we all respond the same way. We don't.
Right.
I have been angry in plenty of relationships, in plenty of situations, and I don't raise my voice.
I love that.
Yeah.
There's not. I'm gonna keep it.
I don't
real.
raise
There's
my
not-
voice.
It's not, but
I don't argue. I am extremely angry. I won't raise my voice. I won't argue, and I won't do no action.
It's a rarity. I'm gonna keep it
And the
real.
reason
It's
why
a rarity.
is because I was taught not to show those emotions when I'm angry.
yeah, but
If you listen to the way Ola was raised, it's almost pointing to that character being raised the same way.
I know this
Yeah.
is off
He's a
topic.
Harvard doctor. He's this and that.
This is
I mean,
off topic, but is your mom and dad together? Were
No.
You, no.
No.
yeah, but I don't.
It was the way I think Ola was raised. Certain black men are raised in a way
Differently.
where you don't show your emotion.
Yeah.
That don't mean I'm not emotional, and that don't mean I'm not
That just means you're
angry.
good at hiding.
But again,
His
I don't.
emotion showed at the end when after they
Listen, when he popped that
when
collar,
she thought they made love, and she went to the bathroom.
she was stupid for that.
We can't assume she was in that bathroom for an hour and it took him that long to get dressed. That means she got up,
He got the
went in the bathroom,
He knew exactly what it was. Yeah.
and by the time she walked out, he had his coat on.
But he knew he needed time. He knew that he was just doing.
Not a doubt. Not a doubt.
And that was just almost slightly a payback thing.
So-
But it is-
You gonna get this one more time.
before
I need you to remember.
I don't even think that's even the thing. I think he just was emotionally charged at the moment and went with the flow. I mean, I think, look,
Sometimes you give out 93 and then leave.
yeah, but at the same time too, I mean, if you want to go with the fact that he was angry about it, then he took his anger out in doing that. And again, I don't think sex had nothing to do with this at all. I think this is definitely like it was a formality. It was like, this is available.
Why not hit it?
God knows one thing y'all haven't brought up today,
It's not
and
that it's available. I don't think the availability of it mattered.
No, but the one thing I brought up a couple of episodes.
You as much as I feel you hurt me.
Wrong. That's not what. Nope. That's wrong. The one thing I brought up a couple of weeks ago when we talked about this, that I said is that let's not forget the only sex that they've seen in each other are each other. You don't think that the first moment that he's like, oh, you slept with another dude, you don't think his ego was hurt? Y'all ain't bring up ego at all today. And you think he patted his ego by talking about his accolades and said, oh, remember that? And I think that sex was a statement of saying, just remember, this is what I bring to the table.
I'm about to say, but that means you have turned around my brother into agreeing with everything we've been saying. Because that was my whole point of it.
I'm just saying, I still correlate this as being hurt. But I get what you're saying with it being anger. And again, regardless of what I think about anger and regardless of what y'all think about anger, and I think these are very educated responses to it, the looming issue is that your definition of anger, my definition of anger,
be different.
It's society that's not going to accept a black person's anger into being anything but aggression. Every time you say a black man is angry, when this is obviously a topic we don't want to even go into, but anytime a black person is considered in a situation and he's considered a suspect or he's considered, the person of interest, the first word they throw at is angry black man. Why? Because I raised my voice, or because I wanted to challenge what you said, or because I didn't agree with you.
It's easier to identify you as angry. It has nothing to do with you.
Let's not
Exactly, and it's not accepted because it's always criminalized. That's why I try to stay away from
cut
that.
half of us short. Because they do the same thing with black women if you're in any business.
Absolutely. Renee was angry last episode. Exactly.
I own it.
So you gotta. So in other words, though, I don't think this show is dealing with the societal
Cheers to that.
issues of anger.
It's the truth.
I think this show. I think the show believes that as black people and black people in its target audience, that you should understand that everyone's anger is different and see the difference in it.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. I'm not used to that. I'm not used to that.
We've seen it
Just like
three
you said
times.
that.
3 times with 4 different.
Yeah.
In this series so far, we saw it initially with Chris when he was angry with Whitney when she didn't speak to him at that party. We saw it with Matt, with Sondi,
Right.
and his anger. We saw it with Jason. Am I saying his name right? Renee's ex. We saw it with his anger. Now we've seen it with Ola's anger. We even saw it with Anderson's anger when him and Elle slept together and Elle like, get out, and he's like, fine. That ain't hurt feelings. That's anger. And I think they're showing different points of anger to say that everybody doesn't have to blow up to be angry.
That's good. I actually really like that though. Again, that scene, I was waiting. I said, is he gonna turn to the green eyed monster? And he just remained composed, and that was that gave me some type of sense of ease. Like, wow, he's not gonna punch her in the face or something.
Because
the things that be happening in the
it doesn't, it's exaggerated. That is an exaggeration.
Yes.
Like, your natural, normal human response is to really process what is happening to you and then to react, whether that's physically or verbally, right? But they make it seem like it's only physically when that's not the case, or only verbally in a violent manner, right? And that's not the case.
Yeah.
We all like James Brown.
Yeah.
We all like Chris Brown.
Yeah.
We all like Bobby Brown.
Maybe I watch the news, But
Yeah.
I like to see that. Let's all encourage black men to do what Ola did.
And just take time for yourself.
Just punch those walls. Don't punch no woman.
Could we talk about one more thing in this episode? What's my girl's name? Whitney's best bridesmaid.
I forget.
And her amazing speech in this episode.
Yes, absolutely.
After she's done that speech, I'm like, why isn't she on this show every week?
Yeah.
That was a great speech.
They wrote her some good lines this episode. They made her interesting because I definitely could have did without her for the rest of the season for the first time. So
For young black girls just to hear what she said, you know how important that is?
yeah.
I think That's the key part of this show that I hope, if they get a season 2, I hope they really lean into that.
Yeah.
Is that with those type of speeches, with Ola's speech, with Renee's speech when she walked out, those empowerment moments of the show can be great.
Yeah.
You can do the comedic stuff, you can do the dramatic elements of it, but you still got to give those certain elements to it because you can grab people in.
Yeah.
Again, I hate to keep on saying other shows here, but one thing that made P Valley great was the empowerment moments with Uncle Clifford.
Mm-hmm.
The empowerment moments with Mercedes. Mm-hmm. Like all of those powerful moments that happened, that as Maxine Ward would say, they were reclaiming their time.
Yeah.
Like that's what you need in these shows for Black people. We need that type of entertainment. We are tired of everybody being a drug dealer.
Hello?
We are tired of everybody. We are tired of.
Here we go. About to preach. This how he ended the other episode when he preached for like 30 minutes.
Everybody's struggling. We want to see us go through
Right, I feel
issues.
you.
One thing that is good about this show, ain't none of these Black people on
They're not
drugs.
struggling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ain't none of them struggling.
They are-
You know what they're struggling with? They're struggling with dealing with regular life
Situations,
issues.
yes.
And we, as Black people,
Yeah.
don't get the opportunity on television to
Yeah.
deal with regular life issues.
Yeah.
It gotta always be blown up to empower type of levels,
Yeah.
to even power type of levels. It's like, nah.
Yeah.
We dealing with real shit here.
Mm-hmm.
Give me some stuff with real shit, with real Black people dealing with them in positive ways.
Yeah.
We all don't go to the dark side. And you said,
Here we go. He preaching.
the first thing you thought,
Hit the communion bin.
Ola, the first thing you thought was that Ola would hit her. Why? That's the image that's portrayed on TV of
It
Black
is,
men.
it is.
As you said,
It's sad.
it's portrayed on TV that Black men overreact with anger.
Yeah, I just feel like if you've been watching the show, you didn't get that sense. I never felt the sense of anger at all in any character in any part of this
You don't
season.
take away anything positive from this show. That's one of the best things they could ever do.
Yeah.
They show Black men and Black women handle their issues in a dope way.
Yeah. Yeah.
When's the last time we saw a show that showed Black women going to therapy?
Yeah.
Even though they went to the wrong therapist.
Facts.
We don't need Rosie O'Donnell. Come on now. But they at least went to therapy. We saw Black women making themselves better. We saw professional Black men. All these Black men on this show are professionals.
Yes.
And one was chasing his dream. His dream was stupid, but he was chasing.
And we need to really understand that this is reality.
Yeah.
Power,
Here we are.
right? Like, we
You
need to understand that you can have two different realities.
Yeah.
four Black people reviewing this show in our 30s. One barely in their 30s.
You in your 30s. Don't give your age.
Oh, I'm there. Listen, I'm there.
Don't
I'm there. They can know I'm
They
there.
don't
Look,
need
I'm
to
there.
know.
I don't mind to my age at this point.
You're
like
because,
this
because you don't see
age.
Black men get to this age and be positive about it.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. Like, all of us have different.
He just put himself over.
You damn right. All of us have different views. All of us have different views of life.
Yeah.
And that's what this show represents.
we have
It's
healthy
giving us
views.
different views. Exactly.
Healthy.
We ain't all angry. Nature ain't doing drugs.
Right.
Might be.
He does. I'm just kidding.
Might be.
Amaya ain't on nobody's corner.
I'm not to
Might be.
She got, Amaya don't have to go down,
Norma Jeans.
down south to recover from drugs.
Right?
Let's get this right.
Or blended with my
Yeah,
meat.
Out in the pink.
exactly.
You never know. Season 2.
But that's what I mean. Just by again, if I don't take anything away from it,
Yeah.
anything else away from this show
Right.
is that you gave great images of
Yeah.
Black people.
Exactly. That's one thing I can't say.
If anything, give me a second season for that.
Exactly.
Yeah, true that.
Exactly.
True
In
that.
conclusion, I guess. You have to hit the in conclusion.
Yeah.
In conclusion, I would like to see a second season.
Yeah.
And also, I didn't realize
I
we
vote
just
for
had
that.
such nice thighs until we got here in person.
Oh
Thank
boy.
you.
Oh boy. Look, we're gonna wrap this. We're definitely gonna wrap. We're gonna wrap this up. Y'all's something else.
We can at least
Here, here.
mention what's next for us.
Yeah, but
What's next for us? Well, next for me and Nate Jer.
Yes.
Yeah, we're.
Power.
I'll put it this way. Just keep an eye out on the channel. We got a few. We already talked about a few projects coming up, so we're gonna have more discussion, more in person. Pandemic's over.
Coming up.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, we're gonna.
can't wait, y'all.
yeah. But yeah, this will do it for this season. Our finale, our recap, a whole season finale. I guess we'll add it to that. And yeah, thanks for tuning in, no doubt. And the love and the support and all that good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah. But yeah, that'll do it, folks. Jump in the comments. Let us know what you thought about the finale, what your expectations for season 2. Thank you for all the love and support, and we'll catch you all very soon for our next series we're covering.
I can't pat Lucas on the head.
Big gold bell.